Hello, everybody.
Excellent!
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Hello, welcome back to A Boring Revolution, your number one news source for everything in regards to the Boring Company. Back to you with a great episode today. We're going to talk about a tweet that Elon Musk has recently sent out and why it might potentially be good news for the Boring Company. Okay, I've got a nice presentation lined up for us. Let's get this up. Here we go. That seems to be working. One moment. Great. Okay, so Elon Musk wants to talk about the roadmap, the Tesla roadmap. Now, in that Tesla roadmap, we have obviously our RoboVan or our AEV, autonomous electric vehicle. These are important vehicles for the Boring Company. There's also a lot of other vehicles that are going to be potentially given timelines. It's a little bit disappointing that Tesla has missed quite a few deadlines over the last 2 to 3 years. However, the good reason for this, ultimately, we've just had a massive pandemic and there's been a massive shortage of batteries. So these two things have compounded and resulted in, unfortunately, a lot of missed deadlines. But the product roadmap update is on the next earnings call. I'm anticipating that will be at the end of January 2022 for the Q4 earnings call. So before we start the talk, thank you for tuning in, everyone. If you've not already done so, if you're new here, please like and subscribe to the channel, and please comment on the video. Tell me what you're thinking. I do like to read through the comments and see what people are saying. Okay, so Elon Musk will talk about future Tesla vehicle roadmap. Ultimately, it's going to change a lot from the previous numbers that we were working from. So January 2022, it's looking like the end of January we will have that Q4 quarterly statements. I'm imagining that Elon Musk will start talking about the actual financial results first of all, and then he will jump into kind of where the Tesla vehicle roadmap is and when he expects specific vehicles to be produced. The pandemic has damaged supply chains, irritating customers. Unfortunately, the supply chains in the US are not great. I think it's going to help a great deal by having factories in Berlin and Texas. I think that by kind of opening specifically Berlin, I think that they'll have a much stronger, more localized supply chain in Germany. I suspect even some of those products will come from the UK as well. The pandemic has damaged supply chains. We want to keep customers happy, so it's a bit disappointing to kind of see deadlines missed. But again, we're still in a pandemic. We've just got to accept the fact that things are not going to recover for many months. Tesla's missed all new vehicle deadlines since 2018. Pretty much everything from the semi truck, Cybertruck, all the potential vehicles, even the solar glass roof rollout. A lot of things that Tesla was pushing have unfortunately been delayed due to events. A lot of the events have been beyond their control. Elon has promised a high density people mover in part 2 of his kind of master plan, the secret master plan. As you know, I previously done an episode on that, and I think that's quite an important statement that he made in that master plan. So I'm hoping that he's going to try and execute this master plan in this roadmap, and hopefully we get to see what we all want to see, which is the Tesla RoboVan, 12 to 16 seats. Or will he fail to incorporate into his new roadmap? I think that's a fairly low probability. However, it could happen. It could be that he just mentions the obvious vehicles like the Roadster, the Cybertruck and the Tesla Semi, and then forgets to mention that he had promised a RoboVan. But I'm pretty confident he will. I think that it is important for kind of decarbonising the world to have a high density people mover. And I think that's what the Tesla are still gunning towards. So just kind of briefly, the vehicle roadmap, what have we got that's going to be mentioned? We've got the Class 8 semi-truck there, possibly one of the most important projects that Tesla are working on at the moment. I think that will be a really kind of niche area where they can get into the freight industry, as it were. The Cybertruck, You know, millions of people have put down deposits. It's a beautiful vehicle, and it will change the truck game. Tesla Roadster will be the fastest electric vehicle ever produced by a long slot. That includes the Rimac as well. And the Rimac is an absolutely incredible beast of a car produced in Croatia. I think the Roadster will absolutely decimate it. But thinking about Rimac and their kind of charismatic CEO and founder, I think they will try and come back. But whatever happens, the competition is great for everyone. Robotaxi, I think the first version of the Robotaxi will come out. Why am I saying first version? I think there will be multiple versions. I think there will be different versions for different continents, different countries, potentially, if the country's big enough. And I think that it will kind of fit into that kind of operating, how it operates in particular areas. It will be adapted in due course, its design. So, and also RoboVan. Now, I've said RoboVan P1 and C1. What do I mean by that? There's going to be a passenger version, the first iteration, and the cargo version, potentially for people on the tools and that sort of thing. So I think there might be two different versions of it. Maybe the door kind of layout is different. Maybe it's slightly longer for the passenger version. Who knows? But I guess we will find out. It does make a lot of sense for them to do a cargo version and a passenger version, because it's two different market segments, and they're going to have two different kind of requirements, as it were, and you need to favour both markets. They're going to make money selling both of them, so it's worth doing that. I keep throwing out various pieces of terminology, so I thought I'd kind of classify it for you all now, because in the past I've used the term AEV to describe this essential van here, autonomous electric vehicle, but now I refer to it as the RoboVan. I think that is just a better term. It's a friendlier term. It seems like a lot more people on Twitter and Instagram are kind of using that term now, so I'm going to keep doing that. And obviously we've had Robotaxi for a while now. Here's a potential design for the Model C or the Model Q, or hopefully Elon Musk will actually tell us what he wants to call this vehicle, or what Tesla wants to call this vehicle, because it's kind of getting a little bit confusing having to use different terms. I actually don't like the Model 2. I think that's a bit of a crap name. I prefer the Model C or the Model Q, but even just calling it the Tesla Robotaxi would be absolutely fine, and they should probably do that. You know, they don't need to give it a letter. They can actually give it a physical name. Key questions that need answering. So I've had a long hard think about this, and I think that these questions need to be covered during that roadmap earnings call, and they are the following. A, where will the RoboVan be produced? Is it going to be produced in multiple factories? Is it going to be produced just in Texas? Is it going to have its own facility? I very much doubt that, but you know, it's on the cards there. It is a low volume vehicle. You know, potentially it could warrant its own facility, you know, with a run rate of, you know, maybe 1,000 a month, maybe 500 a month, who knows? But it potentially could be produced at Giga Nevada, as it were, near Sparks. Potentially they could open a facility near there. That might be a good idea, actually. B, in what volume will it be produced, and in what regions? I think that this kind of vehicle would actually work extremely well in China, given the kind of high density cities that operate there, just operating on the normal roads. But will it be produced at Texas and Berlin? Who knows? Will it be 500 units a month, 1,000 units a month, 2,000 units a month? It's difficult to say without kind of the order book and the kind of interest there. If they're making a cargo version, that potentially might need more than 3,000-4,000 a month. You just don't know, and that's 3,000-4,000 a month per location. So you might have it in 3 regions. So that'd be 12,000 per month. So again, I have no idea. I couldn't even estimate that. How many passengers will it accommodate? Now, they've said 12. I've seen 16. Are there going to be versions that accommodate more than just passengers? Maybe you can put your bike in there. Maybe you can put luggage in there. You know, it might be quite variable. It might be 6 seats. It might be 16 seats. I really don't know. As long as it's in and around 10, physical seats. That's going to be a massive improvement for the loop system. Ultimately, will rapidly increase the capacity of that system. Will it offer level boarding for wheelchair access? If you have ever used the trains in the UK or in the US, you'll know that if you're in a wheelchair, really your life is quite difficult trying to access and get egress from trains. So I would really hope that they would incorporate designs that allow people to get in and out very, very easily, potentially less than a 20mm gap between the actual platform area and the RoboVan, and potentially a vertical distance a difference of less than 10mm. I would hope that would be very possible with this vehicle. They need to think about wheelchairs. Are they going to remove some seats on some of the vehicles to allow up to 2 wheelchairs per vehicle? That would be quite useful for some people, and it certainly would win a lot of plaudits in local government as well. Okay, so will it have a sliding door on either side? It's an interesting question, because it certainly makes a lot of economic sense just to have a door on one side. However, in the event of some kind of accident maybe, or the fact that they could have platforms either side of the vehicle for getting people in and out quicker, would it be better just to have two sets of doors on either side? They need to be at least say 900mm or 3 foot wide, the doors. So there's a lot to think about there. I'm hoping that they do both sides. It makes a lot of sense to me. So I guess we find out, don't we? I guess we find out, or we don't find out anything. That potentially could happen as well. So, conclusion. What do I want Elon Musk to say, and what do I expect Elon Musk to say? So I expect that he'll roll out a roadmap that covers the next sort of 5 to 7 years. I want him to have a solid plan for kind of delivering the semi-truck and the Cybertruck and the Roadster in the next 3 years, or less than 3 years, ideally less than 3 years. And then I want him to have plans for the RoboVan, initially the passenger one, and then the cargo one in years kind of 4 and 5. And that would be really important, because they have the time there to build out a facility over the next 3 years or so then they can start building them. It doesn't need to be an excessively large production line, but it ideally should, hopefully, I hope Elon Musk puts it in Texas. I can't really think of anywhere better to put it. What do I expect Elon Musk to actually say? I suspect that everything's going to be, basically nothing's going to happen in 2022. Nothing's also going to happen in 2023, and I expect that things like the semi-truck and the Cybertruck will be delivered in 2025. 2024, and then expecting 2025 we'll see the Roadster, and then I expect that it'll be possibly 2028 before we see the actual RoboVan. I have a very terrible feeling that it will be delayed long time. So unfortunately that will make a lot of loop systems for the Boring Company fairly low capacity, be less than 10,000 units per hour. Obviously with a RoboVan it could be well over 20,000 per hour. So that's what I think he's going to say, but we just don't know. This is all just speculation. Hopefully it's really good news, and because Tesla's a big company now, there's no excuses for Tesla not delivering vehicles. They can have a set team to deliver each specific vehicle, and the people that are coming off the Cybertruck kind of R&D team should then instantly, because it's a very similar vehicle in kind of size and scope, be put on the RoboVan vehicle. That's what I'd hope to see, and hopefully that is what will happen. Maybe I'm being a little bit pessimistic on this one, but it's just been a bad year. I'm just expecting the worst for this one. But hey, maybe Elon Musk will surprise me and we can do an amazing video on when we expect it to arrive, maybe see some kind of prototypes rolled off the R&D center. So okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Please consider supporting me if you've not already done so with just $2 on Patreon. Also consider supporting or following me on Twitter, and also joining our Discord. We also have an Instagram as well if you'd want to join on there. Thank you to my Patreons, wonderful, wonderful people supporting this channel. As you can see, the picture quality has improved immensely. A good couple of years ago, I improved the microphone quality as well. So, you know, we're going in the right direction. I think the kind of next addition that we're going to use the Patreon money for is potentially a more powerful computer system. That's going to allow us to run this camera at 1080p, maybe up to 2K as well. And then that'll just be absolutely glorious, as it were. Hope you enjoyed that video. Really do. There's a lot of things going on at the moment, and I'm fairly happy that things are going to be delivered once we get over this kind of crazy pandemic. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. And remember, guys, don't be boring. Take care now, and goodbye.